Peace. What's going on? Patrick, Conservative Rap, and we'll get in this section deeper into the political and social dynamics currently happening at the time. Let's just start with some clips, some news clips, and then we'll get into X after it because it's getting a little crazy. Check this out. Antifa, assassination culture. Antifa, worried about unity on the right, will seek ways to break it up, according to Andy No. I'd say at this point he's the most seminal, expert on leftist violence through this agitation group. They're actually quite concerned about the unity on the American right. That befuddles me because they're the cause of it with some of these instances we see in the world today. Let's take a quick listen.
Andy, even in my home state of Texas, an alleged conservative state, Republicans have forced us to fund this violent movement. Nearly 300 so-called teachers are under investigation as you and I are speaking because of the rhetoric that they had put out there about Charlie Kirk's assassination. If this is happening in a red state like Texas, I shudder to think what's happening in the People's Republic of California and GovEd.
You know, I've been tracking what Antifa have been saying and writing in response to the assassination. Obviously, they were celebrating. But they've also now, particularly from one Antifa group in Oregon, they published an after-action report looking at the days following the assassination. And they're actually quite concerned about the unity on the American right. They're concerned that groups of conservatives who weren't politically active before have become quite, you could say, motivated or activated to get involved, such as school children or families. And this is a point of concern for them, and they're discussing ways to try to break up that unity, and they discuss different tactics to divide and conquer. So this pushback that we're seeing on people being educators who have said horrific things, I think, you know, beyond the conversation about if that's the right tactic or not, the other side sees it, and they're actually afraid.
Fascinating. And I'd say the good news in all of this is that people are waking up. The spiritual nature of a behavior and the consequence of it, in my mind, all shakes out at the end. Let's keep it moving. Also, Andy No on X. I'm going to share this tab. Screen. Andy No X. Share. He's running cover for Antifa and is using money to train student journalists to be the next brigade of Antifa propagandists and liars. Check this out. Founder of Politico now funds nonprofit newsroom that describes Antifa as quote-unquote an anti-fascist movement focused on confronting neo-Nazis and disrupting white supremacist demonstrations. Translation, focused on destroying America and disrupting people who love their country. Notice his nonprofit also trains young reporters to facilitate this propaganda. Here's this gentleman. President Donald Trump signed an executive order designating the anti-fascist movement known as Antifa, a centralized movement of left-wing groups known for confronting neo-Nazis and disrupting white supremacist demonstration, as a domestic terrorist organization because Trump has common sense. Moving on, we're going to step away from the Antifa front. Check this out, and just to show the consequence of the leftist dialogue and what it leads to. DHS, you may have heard of this, issued statement on targeted attack on Dallas ICE facility. This morning, a sniper opened fire from a nearby rooftop on top of an ICE Dallas field office. This is in Texas. The shooter fired indiscriminately at the ICE building, including at a van in Sallyport where the victims were shot. 3 detainees were shot. 1 detainee is deceased, and the other 2 are in critical condition. The gunman was found dead with a self-inflicted gun wound. Goes to show you, the left is the party of violence. It's indisputable at this point, and as the leftist mainstream media arm, the fake news becomes further disarmed and further drenched in their own idiocracy. More and more people are seeing what's to come. Now, moving on, just in terms of the whole Doge thing, check this out. Breitbart. Bill Clinton sees this year's Clinton Global Initiative as a counterweight to aid cuts. Translation, Clinton is telling them, listen, Trump, Doge, the Patriots are cutting off our funding. So we need to find another way to funnel our money to have more Antifa riots, to have more backlash, to have more uprisings, to, fund our street soldiers, basically. You can translate some of this stuff so easily now. Clinton said the move was partially in response to foreign aid cuts from President Donald Trump's administration, which he said could lead to more than 6 million more HIV cases and 4 million more deaths in Africa. You want to look at the cause of HIV and deaths in Africa, you need to look no further than his best bud, Bill Gates. In July, GOP leaders stopped an additional cut of $400 million to PEPFAR, a program combating HIV/AIDS credited with saving million lives. Bullshit, since George Bush, who's part of the same damn system. The reality is these people are responsible for this stuff, and the funding barely reaches the actual African populace. Let's go back over to X quickly on some other issues and take a look at what else is happening. So President Trump, this is big. I love this. President Trump said autism and vaccines in the same sentence. Listen to the end. He pointed out something shocking about the Amish, and said it twice to ensure it was emphasized. I think you can say certain groups of people, Amish, that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have no autism. His face was stone cold when he said this. He knew it would spark a firestorm, and he said it anyway. Let's check this out.
And since 2000, autism rates have surged by much more than 400%. Instead of attacking those who ask questions, everyone should be grateful for those who are trying to get the answers to this complex situation. And the first day all of these great doctors behind me were there, I told them, this is what we have to find out. Because when you go from 20,000 to 10,000, and then you go to 12, you know there's something artificial. They're taking something. And by the way, I think I can say that there are certain groups of people that don't take vaccines and don't take any pills that have no autism. Since 2000, autism rates have surged by...
You got to give Trump props, man. I mean, if there was ever an example in today's age of courage and forthright, righteous leadership for what's right and correct, I don't know how he does it. It's fascinating. All right, rapid response. Check this. Fact. Evidence suggests acetaminophen use in pregnant women, especially late in pregnancy, may cause long-term neurological effects in their children. Evidence suggests link between it all. Now, people are knocking Trump and RFK. All they're doing is quoting these same institutions. Harvard, using acetaminophen during pregnancy may increase children's autism and ADHD risk. Mount Sinai study supports evidence that prenatal acetaminophen use may be linked to increased risk of autism and ADHD. Columbia, Association of Prenatal Acetaminophen Exposure measured in mesonium with adverse birth outcome in Canadian birth cohort, etc. I'm not even going to read all of this. Why people trust Big Pharma? From my knowledge, I've heard about TikTok videos where pregnant women are popping Tylenol pills as a showcase of their adversarial protests against Trump. I feel sorry for those children, and it's really sad to see how people, the liberal left has went from, in the early 2000s being against war in Iraq to present day defending Big Pharma. Talk about a phenomenal transition. All right, this from YouTube. We've seen some previously terminated creators try to start new channels. To clarify, our pilot program on terminations, censorship, decreasing visibility of right-minded views is not yet open. It's still against our community guidelines for previously terminated users to use, possess, or create other channels, and will terminate new channels from previously terminated users in accordance with these guidelines to make sure our commie socialist masters keep control of the narrative. We'll have more to share on the limited pilot program soon. Translation, don't let up the guard. This is the value of Rumble. This is the value of Telegram. This is the value of, which I think may have some issues, of Truth Social, etc. We're witnessing a new age Gutenberg press called online content. and they can't control the narrative anymore unless they have some of these big vendors harken down on their own hyper-leftist policies. We talked about this gentleman already. And last, I love putting this back on this. Clandestine, shouts to, this is a great channel to follow. This gentleman, his insights are poignant and deep. Clandestine says, if Comey or Letitia gets indicted, James Comey or Letitia James get indicted, the Dems MSM are going to start squealing that this is some sort of unprecedented authoritarian weaponization of justice. Hypocrites. When they try to pull this BS, remind them that their favorite saying used to be,
no one is above the law. No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are.
Our job is to follow the facts and the law without fear or favor.
The fact is, no one is above the law.
No one, not even the president, is above the law.
No one is above the law.
So you just seen a bunch of fraudsters, mortgage scheme conducting, insider trading hypocrites just project. What do you think? Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, share, and check me out at ConservativeRap.com for more. Thanks and take care.